Marvel Studios' 10 worst Marvel Cinematic Universe movies ranked 1. Thor: Love and Thunder. Is Thor: Love and Thunder truly the worst MCU movie? Some of you will agree, while others are no doubt going to think we've lost our minds. Either way, we don't think it's unfair to say that Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok follow-up was a crushing disappointment. 2. The Incredible Hulk. Poor Hulk. Despite finding great success as a supporting character in the MCU, he's always struggled on his own, and nowhere was that more evident than with Marvel Studios' second-ever movie, 2008's The Incredible Hulk. 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Why were we so hard on Ant-Man and the Wasp? Quantumania. Perhaps this will explain it. Hired to replace Edgar Wright on 2015's Ant-Man, Peyton Reed had the good fortune of working with many of that filmmaker's inventive ideas. The result was a fun origin story. 4. Thor: The Dark World. When the news broke that Alan Taylor would helm Thor: The Dark World, the expectation among fans was that it meant they'd be getting a Game of Thrones-inspired take on the God of Thunder. Then HBO series was, at the time, what Taylor was best known for. 5. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. The trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania fooled us into believing this threequel would be an Avengers-sized movie with the MCU's new big bad, Kang the Conqueror, put front and center. To some extent it was, but it also makes misstep after misstep. 6. The Marvels. Marvel Studios' biggest box office flop didn't deserve much of the hate it received from certain fans, and there are glimpses of greatness to be found in the Marvels. The Flerken kittens instantly come to mind as due to unique visuals when each of the leads switch powers. 7. Iron Man 2. Poor Iron Man 2 was tasked with setting the stage for the Avengers, leaving huge chunks of the movie with no other choice than to deliver exposition and get Tony Stark in the right place to help assemble Earth's mightiest heroes. 8. Black Widow. Fans had spent years pleading with Marvel Studios to make a Black Widow movie, and by the time it was finally released, the character had died in Avengers Endgame. That left us with a story awkwardly sandwiched between Captain America, Civil War, and Avengers Infinity War. Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova remains one of the best additions to the MCU in recent memory, and Scarlett Johansson was, as per usual, enjoyable to watch. Something just didn't quite click here, and it shows with that CG-heavy ending and a weird take on Taskmaster. 9. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, with Spider-Man director Sam Raimi making his Marvel return to helm Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We'd hoped for perhaps one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. After all, the filmmaker is a huge fan of the character, and his horror sensibilities perfectly suited a darker take on the former Sorcerer Supreme. While he brings plenty of flair to this crowded multiverse adventure, and just a little horror, the cameos felt tacked on, and the handling of the Scarlet Witch was suspect at best. 10. Eternals. In many ways, we feel bad putting Eternals here. Yes, it was Marvel Studios' first rotten movie, but it arguably doesn't deserve that status, and there's a lot about it we did love. For starters, the visuals, performances, and portrayal of superpowers were all top-notch. Where the movie let itself down was with a poorly realized, instantly forgettable villain in Crow, and a messy story that saw the focus put on too many characters. Ultimately, Eternals once again shows that you shouldn't rush straight to the Avengers.